welcome to today's film presentation of Harlem Is Heaven as part of the M.A.D. Rhythm's National Tap Dance Day extravaganza. Of course, we celebrate Tap Dance Day on Bill Robinson's birthday, so what better way to honor the man, the legend, by watching one of his earliest works in its entirety. Released in 1933 from Herald Pictures, Harlem Is Heaven is about a greedy, lecherous nightclub owner who pushes his star attraction, Bill Robinson, too far when the nightclub owner starts to make moves on the new girl in the show and won't take no for an answer, if you catch my drift. Historically significant, this film is for being one of the first films to feature an all-black cast, of which all the leads were actual performers working at Harlem's Cotton Club at the time of filming. This was also Bill Robinson's second credited film role after the movie Dixiana from Herald Pictures. RKO, of course, being what became of the vaudeville circuit. It was the three vaudeville circuits that came together. So if you ever see a movie that, or a record that says RKO, it's those three vaudeville circuits that came together when vaudeville was kind of on the way out and formed their own motion picture company. Anyways, so this particular motion picture features not only one of the more famous tapings of Bill Robinson's famous stair dance routine, but also shows him setting choreography on the actual chorus line dancers from the Cotton Club, with an accompaniment by real-life U.B. Blake Orchestra and a real-life U.B. Blake. The first thing you'll notice, besides the Blake and Sissel tune, I'm Just Wild About Harry, to open up the opening credits, sans a singing Bugs Bunny, of course. People Brill's age will get that one. Is the long text scroll at the beginning of the movie explaining about the Tree of Hope, right? The famous good luck tree on 7th Avenue and 131st Street in Harlem, New York. The tree only serves as a plot device in the film to get the female lead, Jean, played by Anise Boyer, hassled by the cops for loitering. She's standing under the tree, hoping to get work, which people would do, but a crowd gathers around her and starts to kind of rib her a little bit. A police officer accuses her of not standing around with noble intent, and the nightclub owner, whose name is Remus Money Johnson, comes to her aid, though that doesn't quite work out how she hopes it will. It's a long scroll. We make fun of George Lucas and Star Wars, but this one, they got nothing on this one. It's pretty long, but it's an important history lesson, so pay attention as we watch Harlem Is Heaven. It's unfortunate, but the following year, in 1934, the Tree of Hope was actually cut down when the city of New York made plans to widen 7th Avenue. When the construction was done, Bill Robinson talked to Mayor LaGuardia, of who he was actually good friends with, this is true, into planting another tree with a big to-do and a whole kind of party around it, and they installed a plaque, which is still there today, saying, "You asked for a tree of hope, so here 'tis. Best wishes, Bill Robinson." Right? That tree also met the axe at some point, and I'm guessing people started to realize maybe they need something a little more permanent to be there. So now there is the Tree of Hope 3, a vibrantly colored statue by artist Algernon Miller, and it now resides in the middle of 7th Avenue, so they can make it as wide as they want but they're not touching this statue. Third time's a charm, I guess.
Says which?
Well, I said, how long must I stand under this tree to get a job?
Lady, me for a solid week one time, and when I got back to my boarding house, the building had burnt down.
Oh, please, wait a minute. Oh, I beg your pardon. An old great tree of hope, please give me work.
Come along with me, baby. You can't pull any of them fastenings around here.
Oh, Officer, I don't...
Never mind the alibis. Come on, tell it to the judge. Let's go.
Judge?
Yes, to the
You
judge.
mean I'm arrested?
Certainly you're arrested.
Won't go. Please
Well,
let
you
me
won't go.
go.
You're tough, are you? You won't go.
Get your hands off of me.
Come on, let's go before I persuade you with this stick.
Oh, please, somebody, please help me.
Let's go.
Let me go. I'm not going.
tough.
Oops, dearie. Who told you you could strut high and wide in this part of the town?
Hello, Brennan. What's the trouble here? How to do, Mr. Johnson? There's no trouble. Just one of these broads that thinks she can talk to every man that comes by.
Oh, yeah? That's pretty serious business, honey. Especially in these times.
But I haven't done anything wrong. I only asked the man what you must do to get your wish.
Your wish? You mean you was down there wishing for a job? You like to got one too, honey, if I hadn't came along. That's all right, Brent. I'll take charge of it.
Anything you say,
Scram.
Mr. Johnson. Come on, you leeches. What are you waiting on, all right? Come on, let's go. Come on, shorty.
So you're an actress, huh?
Yes, sir. When I work.
Oh, I see. Maybe your wish will come true after all, you know it? Here, take this card, bring it to my office, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and maybe your wish will come true.
Money Johnson. And you're the man that owns the new Acme Theater. Oh, I've tried to see you so often.
A lot of them have, but they don't succeed. You bring that card to my office tomorrow morning. It'll get you a job.
Thank you so much, Mr. Johnson. You don't know how I appreciate your kindness.
Oh, I think I do. And another little thing, I nearly forgot. You had better, take that.
No, really. I couldn't accept that from a stranger.
Oh, it's perfectly all right. It's just a loan until you get on your feet, that's all.
All right, then. But I'll pay you back just as soon as I get started.
Sure, forget it. If I didn't have an important engagement, I'd run you home.
Well, that's all right. I don't mind.
I'll look forward to seeing you in the morning, then. Good night.
Good night. Thanks a lot. You didn't fool me after all, did you, old fella? I'm so tired of making this 5:45 time, but I don't know what to do.
Spider. Why, hello, Bill. Not so good. Say, Spider, let me take a quarter, get some breakfast.
Say, you ain't on the level about this, are you, Bill?
Sure, I'm on the level, man. I ain't had nothing to eat since last night.
What's the matter, woman trouble?
No, I'm still think I can play blackjack and trying to hit 16 with a 5 spot and keep getting a 10.
Here you are, Bill.
Thanks, partner. Say, listen, if you see Johnson, tell him I'm going down the way to look over a few types, and I'll be back directly.
Okay.
Take a letter to Wolf Griffin, Miss West.
Yes, sir?
Dear Wolf, in reply to your telegram, I advise you that you stop at nothing. The game in Philadelphia is ours. I don't want nobody chiseling in. The interference, no doubt, is coming from here. And if you'll investigate, you'll find that Moran and his men are behind the chiseling. Find out who's in charge of the operations and notify them that if they don't lay off, we'll rout them out. Let them know that we mean business. Do this, you'll find that we won't be bothered anymore. Come here, gal, I want you.
Yes, sir, Miss Johnson.
Come on, baby. Let's see how good you are.
Oh, excuse me.
What do you want?
It's a lady out here want to see.
Well, I don't want to see nobody.
I know, but she said she met you last night under the Tree of Hope.
Tree of Hope.
Yeah.
All right, don't stand there like a braying jackass when a lady's waiting. Show in.
Yeah, man.
Good morning, Mr. Johnson. Am I late?
On the contrary, Miss Stratton, you're just in time. Won't you sit down? You may go, Miss West. That's all.
But, Mr. Johnson, you haven't finished with me yet.
I'll finish with you later. I always do.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hey, hold everything. Come on, folks. We got to try a new opening. Just a minute, everybody ain't in the scene. Clear the stage. Hey, put that. Come on, turn that piano around.
Yeah, boy.
Okay. How's that?
That's both things.
Now, the manager wants me to try a new comedy opening, and I haven't got one. You remember the thing we did in the circus?
Yeah.
Can you think of it?
Yeah, man.
Hey, Hubie.
Yeah.
Putin is going to play a little number up here, and I want you to come in on the last 4 bars. What are you talking about?
Last 8 bars, of course.
Last what?
Last 8 bars, of course.
Then take that gum out of your mouth.
The last 8 bars of the second chorus.
Now, that'll get it. Let's go to town. downstairs to see Bill Robinson. He's my star and the producer.
Bill Robinson? You mean the dancer Bill Robinson?
Yes, do you know him?
No. But I'd like to. That is professionally, of course. I've heard so much about him and seen his pictures. We all love him in the South.
Bill's very popular. I made him, you know. I make everybody that interests me. That is, professionally, of course.
I understand.
You know, Miss Stratton, I'm the head man in this part of the country. My word is law in Harlem and a lot of other places, too.
So I gathered.
I got a lot of dough, a lot of influence, but I had to work mighty hard for everything that came my way. I came up north about 10 years ago. I got a job as a dock walloper over on the Hudson River waterfront. Work was hard and the pay was small. I met a white fella one day who was operating a policy racket here in Harlem. He offered me a chance to collect bets for him on a commission. I did. For a year. Then I started my own policy. 6 months later, I was operating the only game in the East that turned over about $5,000 clear a day.
$5,000 a day. Whatever became of the man who first started you in business?
He forgot to keep his nose clean. Generous. But I don't know no law except my own. I expect people to do things my way. And above all, I won't tolerate a double crosser, nor a man or a woman who tries to balk me. But you haven't got a thing in the world to worry about. You've got everything to gain. Just remember what I've told you and learn to forget a lot of things you're going to hear around this place. Do that, and remember never to say no to Money Johnson, and we'll get along. Else?
I think I understand.
You look right smart. Come on, let's go downstairs. Bill Robinson's waiting.
Release that Brit and drop that ring.
I know, but how are we going to finish this thing?
Oh, I'll tell you about it later. I got a chorus to rehearsal. Get on out.
I'll talk to you then.
Good morning, boss.
Hello, Bill. I want you to meet Miss Stratton.
Why, how do you do?
Well, I'm delighted to meet you, Mr. Robinson. I've heard so much about you.
I guess you two will get along all right. Now, listen, Bill. I want you to be particularly patient with Miss Stratton. You know, she's new and, she's a sort of a protege of mine.
Says which?
She's my protege.
You sure got a lot of funny names for it, Money.
Take that dressing room to the left there, Miss Stratton, and change into your rehearsal clothes. I'll meet you later.
Don't worry, honey. You're doing fine. Take it easy. Tonight and tomorrow, we'll put in another rehearsal.
Then you think I'll really make good?
Make good, little lady. You'll be the hit of the show.
Well, as I was about to say, I guess I'll be on my way.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, we were just, really.
It's all right. 2 is mischief and 3 is intrusion.
May we see you home?
Well, you see, I haven't any home.
No home?
No home?
Well, that is, you see, I checked out of my boarding house this morning before rehearsal, and I haven't had a chance to find a place as yet.
Are you well heeled?
Well heeled? Do you mean have I any money? Oh, yes, thank you. Mr. Johnson gave me, an advance.
Mr. Johnson gave you in advance.
Why, Is there anything wrong?
No, but make sure you pay it back. You see, that guy generally collects dividends on what he invested.
Oh, he'll get it back just as soon as I get my first salary.
But why don't you stop at our place? We live in an apartment owned by an old Georgia mammy.
And she'll be like a mother to you.
Oh, Mother. Home. Gee, that would be swell. And you two boys, you'll be my big brothers, won't you?
Big brother.
Exactly.
Remember, big boy, act like a relation, not the Iceman.
Oh, come on. We better be starting out now. It's getting late.
Well, all right. I left my suitcase in the candy store on the corner. We'll stop off and pick that up first.
Ouch. Oh. They're not even putting the friend zone. They're putting the sibling zone, which is arguably much worse. That's gotta hurt. Remus Money Johnson. What a mean guy, right? Played by James or Jimmy Basket. He actually went on to have an amazing film career, right? We're talking about the nightclub owner here. Not only did he perform at the Cotton Club regularly, but he actually went on tour with Bill Robinson, a production called Going to Town. But later went on to play, you might know these roles. He was one of the crows from Dumbo, okay? The original animated one, not the much worse one that came out recently. And is perhaps best known for his role as another Remus, this time Uncle Remus, in the now controversial movie, Disney movie, Song of the South. And for that performance, he won an honorary Oscar, making him the first black man to win an Academy Award. So we have some pedigree in this film, right? Very interesting. The chorus line rehearsal dance number, also pretty faithful to the type of chorus line number that you might see at the Cotton Club in Harlem in the 1930s, because it was the Cotton Club chorus line in the film, right? Also with the original sets and costumes from the club. So this is a great kind of time capsule to see how it actually was, and not just like a recreation by someone, like decades in the future trying to capture the time. This is how it looked. These are the people that were doing it. These are the people you read about in the history books now. So, well, there's a lot more to enjoy. So, back to the show. Did you notice the little repartee that Robinson has with the piano player during the rehearsal scene? When he shouts, "Hey, Eubie!" Well, he shouts that because that is U.B. Blake, right? The guy chewing the gum who's, the last part before the chorus, right? That's U.B. Blake, the U.B. Blake. An amazing composer, and one of the creators of the first all-black revue, Shuffle Along, in 1921. And that started a wave of all black performer revue musicals on Broadway and touring across the country. Right, these were some of the hottest shows in Broadway, like Lou Leslie's Blackbirds was another big one. There's so many more, and that popularity went on for about a decade, maybe a decade and a half. By the 30s, it kind of started to peter out. Well, Shuffle Along recently was revitalized into a narrative-based show, so not just separate acts. The original Shuffle Along was all the four different creators kind of had their own specialties sections, and the stars in the show their own specialty sections. So it was more review. This Shuffle Along is about making Shuffle Along, and they actually give the real-life people characters in that show. Shuffle Along was choreographed by Savion Glover and written by George C. Wolfe. This was 2016, and it came out to rave reviews and was even nominated for Tonys for, among other things, its choreography and its book, right? For another good clip of U.B. Blake, this time with Gregory Hines, you can find them doing a great number on an episode of Saturday Night Live, although you have to get through the Gary Busey monologue and some other things to get there, but, well.
Do you want to see me, Mr. Johnson?
Yeah, sit down. Sit down. You and this new girl, Jean Stratton, have become quite chummy, eh, Walker?
Well, that is, we're working together, sir.
She lives the same place you do, doesn't she?
I had nothing to do with
I didn't
that.
ask you who brought her there, did I?
No, but
Well, stop beating around the bush.
I'll try not to, sir.
Get this straight, Walker. I've got my eye on that kid. She's my personal and private property. You savvy?
Why, sure. Of course, Chief. She means nothing to me.
Oh, of course not. She don't mean anything to you. Well, I'm glad of that, because I've got a little job for you.
Please,
Just
Mr.
before-
Johnson, I don't want to get mixed up in any more of these rackets.
Who said anything about a racket?
Well, I thought...
Well, don't think. Listen. I'm giving a little party in my private office tonight, directly after the show. Just me and one other, strictly private, you see?
Well, sure.
I'm the host, and my guest is Miss Stratton.
Does she know?
Of course not, stupid. That's what you're here for. You're going to be the little guy what's going to invite her, see?
Me?
Yeah, cut out the mammy song now, brother. You scram out of here and tell that Stratton dame I want to see in the office directly after the show tonight. And if I was you, I wouldn't miss, sonny boy. Because if you do, you're liable to get that pretty face of yours all mussed up.
Hello, Bill.
Hello. I just come by to wish you luck.
Gee, that's sweet of you. I just know I can't fail with you rooting for me. What you got there?
Nothing. I mean, not much of...
For me, Bill? Gee, no one ever gave me flowers before. Ever in all my life.
Oh, shucks, that ain't nothing. You're going to be a big headliner, and you'll be getting lots of flowers, heaps of them in big baskets, before you are through.
But they'll never. None of them will ever mean as much to me as yours. Come on, run along now, Bill. I'll see you later.
What's the matter, old fella? Too many liquid headaches last night?
No, Chubby, she loves me. Who? Jean. Why, she even kissed me. She said no one's flowers would ever mean as much to her as mine did.
Congratulations, kid.
Thanks.
You're lucky, and so is she. There isn't a better man in the world than you, fella.
Oh, shucks, I ain't half good enough for her.
Oh, come on, snap out of it. They'll just yell over you. You know, the best man always wins.
I guess I was the best man.
money? This is Greta, darling.
What do you want?
Aren't you coming over tonight? I haven't seen you in a week.
Here I am in the midst of a big rehearsal, and you call up to ask riddles.
I want to see you.
I haven't got the time.
You haven't got time. Well, maybe the district attorney will find time to find out about that new posse racket you've just started in Harlem.
All right, sweetheart. I'll be over in just about an hour. Oh, nuts.
I'll get every pound of it. Listen, Puddin' and I set up last night, right on side the bed. We fixed the storm, but just too bad, girls, it'll knock you dead. Now, I know you all danced Charleston and the Black Bottom away. Just stand at attention, prance a while, do just as I say. Get off hot.
Yeah.
Don't you stop.
Never no stop.
We'll doodle-de-doo.
What's that?
Bill Robinson stomp. First you slide, then you fly.
Oh, boy.
You open your eyes.
Oh, that's what?
Bill Robinson stomp. First you start rapping, then you start tapping. Keep your fingers snapping, click your heel and toe. There you go, on your toe. I'll hide in your home. Bill Robinson stomp.
Is that it?
Something like it, but not quite. Now he's got it.
Well, since we've heard your chatter,
Yeah.
one thing we want to know.
What's that?
Now, how you got a pattern?
Why?
'Cause we are ready to go.
Well, since you are ran to go, you just try and follow me once more. You take 2 steps and turn around. Run right up and you run right down. Give me 2 more, now make it 4. Run right back like you did before. Now have 4 steps, now make it 8. Look out, children, don't be late. Follow me, you really can't lose. Sprinkle pepper in your shoes and dance the way you choose. You get off
2 dance numbers this time. Wow, and some numbers they were too. But good stuff. First we have Bill Robinson and, again, the real-life Cotton Club chorus line doing a song called the Bill Robinson Stomp. I have not heard this song outside the movie. I'm not sure who wrote it. I assume U.B. Blake, if he's responsible for the music in the movie, but I can't find exactly who wrote it, but I assume U.B. Blake, but we don't know. But the Bill Robinson Stomp, it should be a classic, but it's not. And of course this number, Bill Robinson gives reference to the Charleston, which you show him doing, and the Black Bottom, which are 2 very popular vernacular dance steps of the day. You can see a lot of famous Bill Robinson steps in this routine, and you might notice the set in the background. It's a plantation house. That's right, a southern plantation house. That's right. The Cotton Club, you must remember, was, while all the performers were black, everyone in the audience was white, right? Black audience members were not allowed, so they would often cater to the white audience. And one thing that was very popular at the time was shows that had acts, sets, costumes, and content that reminded people of the good old days, right? Of the South prior to the Civil War, right? You understand my quotation marks for this, right? Be it nostalgia or for whatever reason, it's weird for us to see it now, but there you have it. That's what the audience wanted at the time. The second dance routine is the chorus line without Robinson, and then while they're doing the requisite kick line, I have to point out the rhythms have a lot of space in them, and there's not a hop shuffle in sight, right? They're really taking their time with these rhythms, and I really appreciate it. Again, you can't get more authentic to this time period than that, which is a rarity in Hollywood at this time. And you can really see the difference between the Cotton Club chorus line and the Ziegfeld Follies chorus line, right? Maybe the costumes and everything isn't as clean, but man, those steps and the rhythms, they're a-okay. Anyways, I can't wait to see what happens next. So, let's continue on with the movie. You know, Anise Boyer, a rising star in vaudeville, she plays Jean in the movie, right? Or the new young chorus girl that everyone's apparently smitten with. She was a rising star in vaudeville, starting at the age of 15 years old, and then soon moved to Broadway and other theaters in New York, performed at the Cotton Club. That's where Bill Robinson first met her and got her in the chorus line of a show he was doing. It's interesting because it seems for a time in this film, Bill Robinson's gonna get the girl. And in this film, she's 18, and Bill Robinson, by contrast, is roughly about, I think, 55 years old in the film. So there's a bit of an age discrepancy. But hey, you know, suspend your disbelief for the film. And he looks good for his age. That was one of his trademarks. He always looked good for his age. Walking upstairs later in life, that wasn't good for him. He didn't feel good doing that, so he would dance up the stairs and say that felt much more comfortable, right? It's not uncommon for Robinson to be seen with younger women in his films, like Stormy Weather. He also has a young love interest. But also courting younger women in real life was also something that Bill Robinson did. He was married 3 times, each time marrying a younger woman. His first marriage ended. He was just too busy, and he never saw his wife, really. His second marriage, Fanny Robinson, they actually stayed in contact his entire life. right, from when they met to when he passed away in 1949. And then his third wife, who was 43 years his junior, was Elaine Plains, later Elaine Robinson. But apparently he loved them all. And his second wife, even he paid her $350 a month because he felt bad for her. He paid $350 a month until she got remarried. So, you know, what a guy. The myth, the legend.
Wait a minute, Gene.
Come on in. Sit there and don't dare peek.
Adorable.
Yes?
Oh, gee.
Chummy, something's wrong. Won't you please tell me what it is?
Gene, you must leave this place at once.
Leave here? Why, Chummy, you don't realize what you're asking.
Oh, but I do. You aren't safe here, dearest, with Johnson continually watching you. There's no telling what might happen.
Oh, don't worry over that. I can take care of myself and Mr. Johnson, too. Besides, I don't believe this bite is half as bad as his bark.
You don't know him. I do. Johnson has never wanted a girl that he didn't eventually get.
Well, this is one time that Mr. Money Johnson is going to be disappointed.
He won't be. He never is. Only a little while ago, he sent for me and said that I was to invite you to his office for a private supper after the performance.
Well, that's sweet of him. Will you be there too, Chummy?
Certainly not. Don't you understand? It's to be a twosome. A supper that'll end heavenly knows how.
And you've come here to deliver that invitation.
I've come to beg you to run away before it's too late.
Did you tell Johnson that you were going to ask me to run away?
Certainly not. Do you think I want to be killed? Don't you know? Didn't he tell you that defying Money Johnson means death?
And if I should stay, what then? Would you face Johnson and fight him for me?
Fight Money Johnson? Gene, you don't know what you're saying.
Oh, yes, I do. What are you wearing pants for? You afraid of being roughed up? Well, I'm staying, do you understand? I'm going in there to Money Johnson, and if you love me, you'll come in and get me.
Chummy!
Am I late?
No. Prompt as usual. Oh, but you always are. Won't you sit down? Have a drink, honey. It'll steady your nerves.
No, thanks. I don't drink.
You'll pardon me, then.
Of course.
To you, your exquisite charms, and our friendship. Oh, come here.
Don't please let me go. Oh, Bill.
It's all right, honey. been right all the time, but you're wrong now, Money. She's going with me.
You're going, but she's staying.
Don't worry, everything is going to be copacetic.
Now listen, Bill, I'm going to give you a tip. I'm going to keep that girl here. And if you don't want no trouble, you'll scram, see?
If you want her, come and get her.
Well, I will.
Sweetheart.
Morning, Bill.
Good morning. Say, listen, what's the idea of our stuff being piled out here like this?
Well, where do you usually put an act stuff when they close?
Clothes? Oh, you don't mean...
Oh, don't bother me, lady. Johnson told me to give you your money and your stuff. You're through.
Oh, gee, Bill. What are we gonna do now?
Listen, darling, don't worry. You're a clever kid, and with me behind you, we'll have a job before the week's out.
I know. But you've been working for Johnson for a long time. If you hadn't gotten to that ball last night on account of me, you'd still be working.
Oh, I don't want to work for that man. I was getting through anyway.
Well, you're a dear, Bill. I don't know what I'd do if it weren't for you.
Come on, darling, let's get out of here before they hand us a bill for room rent.
Why, hello, chummy. What do you have?
Make it a straight gin. Say, wait a minute, Pete. I ain't gotten to that stuff yet.
Bill,
Yeah?
this is addressed to you.
Addressed to me? Well, I will be...
Is there anything wrong?
Anything wrong? What's the matter, baby? Did you and Chubby ever meant anything to each other? Don't be afraid to tell me. Did you and Chubby ever?
No, Bill. He didn't. No one in this world means as much to me as you.
Oh, come on. Don't cry like that. You make your little mascara run all over your eyes, and then you'll have to wash your little face again.
See you later.
I'm going over to talk to Greta about rejoining the show. If she does, I want you to keep an eye on her. She knows too much.
Okay, boss. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my proud privilege to present to you America's foremost tap dancer, Bill Bojangles Robinson.
Hey, Spider, there's my piano player. That's where he get all his notes.
Hello, Bill.
Hello, Billy.
Hello, Bill. How are you? Very glad to see you.
Yeah,
Surprised to see you down here, though.
I'm with my friend Spider.
Oh, yeah? Say, Bill, I hear you're doing pretty good at Moran.
Just same as being on Broadway.
Oh, boy. Say, how about doing this little song here now?
Well, I'm sociable. Say, Putney.
What is that, Bill?
You remember that number we fixed up for that man and his wife?
Oh, for that act, yeah.
That is you, ain't? Yeah. Let's try it.
Yeah, man.
Listen to this part. Now, you know I'm a bad man.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, your name is Sarah.
Oh, I see.
I'm coming in to get you told.
Come on in.
Well, I'm in.
Okay.
Listen, sweet mama.
Okay.
I've been pleading. You ain't heeding to a thing I ask you to do. Stop beating around that stump. Stop playing me for a chump. Is you honey? Ain't you honey? Tell me why did you can't? Just answer yes or no. Is you or is you ain't? Eyes around tonight to see if you going to marry me. Tell me, is you or is you ain't?
Oh, I don't know. You got so many old pickle broads.
Well, I done bought that wedding band, even arranged it with the preacher man.
Really?
Tell me, sweet mama, is you or is you ain't?
How we gonna live, Bill?
You needn't worry where. How we live with love, we live on hard tax. Your answer's all left to give. Now tell me, what's your holdback? I asked your ma for you today. Your pa told me everything is okay. Is you or is you ain't?
Well, Pa said this okay, but you got to listen to me. Now, let Hot Mama get you told.
Well, tell it to me, Hot Mama.
Now, when you get old, decrepit, and lame, do you expect me to be the same? Now, tell me, do you? Or do you doesn't?
Do's not does.
You heard it.
Listen, when I'm old, long in years, I'm looking for you to help me shift my gears. Now, will you?
Surprise me.
Or will you won't?
I don't know so much about that, but listen, Bill, you know I love you, honey, and I swear I do. And honest to goodness, I'm not judging.
Well, if things don't break just like they was, would you take in rich folks' washing?
Who? Me stay in the house and watch and scrub and iron all day like a mule, man? You must have turned out to be a brand new fool.
Oh, is you? Oh, is you, eh?
Why, yeah.
I thought he was down the theater.
Didn't you know he quit the same night you had to run in with money?
No, I didn't know it. But I do know we got to get him out of here. Hello, kid.
Hiya, gents.
Come on, we're going home.
Ain't got no home. Don't want to go home.
You might not know it, but you just got one. Come on, Spider. See you later, fellas. So long, brother.
We start off this part of the movie with a very long and awkward scene of Chummy not watching Jean change her clothes in her dressing room. I'm not sure why that scene is there. It's just kind of long silence, but I don't know what are you gonna do. Chummy, of course, played by Henry Wessel, another Cotton Club staple, was apparently a very talented dancer, though we don't see that talent in this film, unfortunately. I tried to look for it, but I can't find it. It's somewhere. I'll keep looking. So after the nightclub owner, Money Johnson, gets a little too handsy with Jean, Bill Robinson beats the ever-living daylight out of him in a very fake-looking fight scene, which I find hilarious. The best part of which is when Bill Robinson finishes him off with the slowest wind-up of a kick to the lower thigh that I've ever seen. I mean, it's a great scene. One of my favorites besides the dancing. So of course, after this, Bill Robinson is surprised that his trunk is waiting for him in the alley and he's fired, which I don't know why I'm so surprised. That's usually what happens when you beat up your boss. But hey, he's fired, and a couple scenes later, he's working somewhere else. It's not quite clear who hires him, but Bill Robinson in real life was so famous, he worked at, finally a nightclub that he didn't work at or couldn't work at. So this does make sense in real life. But this is good for us because we get to see the famous stair dance with Bill Robinson's custom stairs that he used at the Cotton Club. This is probably the most famous clip in the film, and this is probably the version of the stair dance, the solo stair dance, that you'll see if you just YouTube Bill Robinson's stair dance, right? Of course, there's another famous one where he dances with Shirley Temple, and that was actually tough for him because the stairs were different, right? It was filmed in a mansion, and he had to practice for a little bit to actually figure out the stairs. He was having trouble at first because they were different stairs. He had his own custom stairs. So, what a great scene. I mean, watch it again. Next, we see Bill sing a song with his longtime accompanist and popular jazz pianist, Putney Dandridge. Alright? They're performing Is You Is or Is You Ain't, which parts of the song may have been borrowed for the song Is You Is or Is You Ain't My Baby, which came about like a decade later, right? Anyway, well, we're in the home stretch, so please enjoy the finale of Harlem Is Heaven. You know, that fight scene with Robinson and Money Johnson is not too far from the reaction Bill would have in real life, right? If you can believe it. If he was witness to any injustice, he was quick-tempered and was not one to back down from a fight, including with white gentlemen, which would not have been possible at the time if not for his fame and personality. Remember, he's probably the most famous black star and one of the most famous stars of any race at this time. In the United States, maybe the world, I don't know about that, but he was definitely one. You knew who Bill Robinson was, everyone did. He would punch out doormen who would refuse service to black people. He would chase down purse snatchers. There's 2 counts on record of this. One time where the police officer mistook him for the purse snatcher and actually shot him, right? And he forgave the police officer, which made the police like him even more than they already did. And he was actually quite popular with police officers all across the country, interesting enough. One time he got into a fist fight with a football player, right? I forget who it was, but you assume he's a tough guy, right? He's a football player. There's an old-timey football player when they didn't need helmets because they were tough. And when the football player, the guy cut Bill Robinson off in traffic, and after the guy started shouting racial slurs at him, Bill Robinson took out his golden revolver, right, and knocked the guy over the head with it, right? So you'd think this would get him in a lot of trouble, but of course that revolver is given to him by the police chief and the officers at the 132nd Precinct in Harlem, right? So he was friends with half the police chiefs in the country and was actually an honorary deputy sheriff in New York. So he got away with some of these feats of justice, which is fortunate for him and for us.
Good morning.
Not so good.
Toast?
No, thanks.
Say, you 2 old folks has been pouting long enough. Why don't you kiss and make up?
I
Should say not.
You should say. Now, is everything copacetic?
Gee, Bill, you've been a peach of a pal.
Take Gene and catch yourself some air, and you'll feel better.
Mr. Walker to see you, sir.
Show him in. Well. A sight for sore eyes.
How have you been?
Just fine, old man. Take a seat. Make yourself at home. How about a cigar? One of my personal brand, you know.
Oh, no, thanks. Did you want to see me about something cheap?
Yes, I have an idea that I think might interest you, Chubby.
I'm through with all rackets, Johnson.
Oh, but this is on the level. No kidding. This is straight.
Okay, I'm listening.
Some friends of mine have discovered a perfect machine that'll take the kinks out of colored folks' hair.
But there are a million of those things on the market.
Sure there is. But this is different. It eliminates all the grease and the pain. Operates cheaper, too. You know what I could do? I could sell my patent tomorrow morning to a big corporation for a nice slice of dough. But I don't want to take it all. You know me, Chubby. Just a big-hearted fellow that's always ready to give the little fellow a break.
Sure, of course.
You know what I thought of doing? Thought of forming a little corporation to float a little stock among our friends here in Harlem.
Well, how am I to fit in?
Perfect. Make you the president of the company at a salary of $5,000 a year and an advance bonus of 10,000 shares of preferred stock at $10 a share.
Are you sure this is on the up and up, without a hitch of any kind?
Am I sure? Take a look at these plans. Take a look at the statement made out by the notary here.
No, thanks.
There's millions in it. There's money for everybody. I'm letting you in on the ground floor without an investment. You know why, Chummy? Because I feel I owe you something.
But what am I to do for all of this?
Absolutely nothing. Just lend your name and personality to the company. My salesman will do the rest. You see, my big business deals keep me from being actively engaged in this, but my money and all the power I can give you will be behind it. All I ask of you is, don't mention my name.
Sure, I understand.
All right? How about it?
Okay, it's a deal.
It's a deal. Meet me here tomorrow afternoon. We'll arrange about a suite of offices. See you again, old man.
Did he bite?
Hook, line, and sinker.
I know he would, honey. I'm glad for your sake.
I'll teach that guy to mix with my women. If it hadn't been for him, I'd have that Stratton dame back here right now.
I know you would, honey.
I bet he's the guy that tipped Moran off. My boys were out to get Robinson. Well, it won't be long now before I'll have that guy sitting pretty behind a flock of 8-balls.
I want you to get a line on that no-kink hair straightener corporation in Harlem. Here's the report from the post office. Read it, turn it in with your own.
Okay, Chief.
What you got there, Spider?
It's my Liberty Bonds, Bill.
Liberty bonds, man. Don't you know the war's over?
This ain't got no war attached to it. This is peace and security of my old age, that's all.
What you mean?
You see, my wife and I have been working hard all our lives. In the last past years, we made a nice piece of change and we saved it. I ain't as young as I used to be, and someday I'm going to have to get out of this business and make room for the upcoming generations. And when that time comes, I want a little home in the country with an income of some kind, with secure peace and comfort of my old age, that's all.
Man, you ain't been buying some of that no-kink hair straightener.
That's exactly what I went and done.
Well, you shouldn't have done that. That ain't no good. That stuff is a fake.
Chummy Walker's the president of the company, ain't he? Chummy's your pal. You always said he was a nice, clean kid, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, what's wrong? Chummy wouldn't cheat his friends. You wouldn't take our money without giving us a break, would he?
Well, no, of course not.
That's better. Wait a minute, Spider. See the Indian papers? I never thought that Chummy would treat me like that, but I'll get even.
Chummy, how'd you ever get yourself in a mess like this?
Everything will be all right. There's nothing to worry about.
But there is. They'll send you away.
Johnson's lawyer was just here, and he said there isn't anything to worry about. The company's solvent, and it'll only take a month or so to convince the district attorney that we haven't been operating fraudulently.
Johnson's lawyer. Then he's at the bottom of this deal.
Why, no, of course not.
You're lying to me.
All right, he is, but I tell you, everything will be all right.
Yes, for Johnson. His company is solvent. Why doesn't he step up and take the blame?
He can't. He's involved in too many deals. It wouldn't look right, honey.
I'm going to the district attorney.
You can't do that. You can't tell him that Johnson's mixed up in this. If you do, he'll pull out on me. Then I'll be left holding the bag.
Time's up.
You won't say anything, will you? You won't say anything. Money has power. He'll get me out, he promised.
All right, Chummy.
Come on,
I'll
come
keep
on.
quiet.
Okay. Goodbye, hon.
Goodbye.
Did you see Chummy?
Bill, we've got to get Chummy free.
Yes, but how?
Chummy said that Johnson was at the bottom of this deal. If we can connect him, Chummy will get free.
Johnson? I have it. Spotted.
What is it?
If we can make Greta talk, we will have the rope around Johnson's neck.
Marvelous. And I'm the girl who can make her shout like a phonograph.
Baby, let's go to town.
Well, I'm coming in here because I know she's here. She is still here, too, and you're going to let me in.
Why, what do you mean by this uncalled for intrusion?
You'll find out.
If you don't get out,
You'll do nothing. What do you know about this no-kink hair straightening, Greta?
no kink hair straightening. Why, it takes the curls out of your hair.
Come clean, girlfriend, and everything will be okay.
I only know what I read in the papers.
What connection is Johnson with this outfit?
Why, I don't know. How should I know?
You know all right. You're gonna talk and talk plenty. If you don't, I'm gonna beat it out of you, see?
Well, I don't know. If I knew, I would tell you. I don't know anything.
You're gonna talk? You're gonna talk? You're gonna talk? Huh? Talk now.
I'll tell you anything. Just leave me alone.
Allow me to congratulate you. You have accomplished what my office failed to do. Immediate steps will be taken to free Chummy Walker and secure an indictment against Money Johnson.
Thank you so much.
I'll have Chummy here in a moment.
How am I doing, babe?
Hey, hey.
Now we'll go to town.
I'll say we will.
Look.
Gee, it's great to see you both and to think of all you've done.
Come on, fella. Say, listen, I got a taxi cab standing outside, and the meter is bothered Coors Gap.
It's damn news.
Surely. All right, thank you.
Hello, Money.
Hello, Spider. No, not that, Spider. Please don't, Spider. I can't stand that. Don't do that, please. I've got everything in the world to live for. Please don't do that, Spider. There's money in stocks. Take it all. But for God's sake, please don't kill me, Spider. Please, please.
Well, Bill, I think I'd better be going.
No, I need you for a while. No, make yourself at home, Chummy. Pardon me. I've been waiting for you.
Bill, I thought
Never mind, that's what you get for having that kind of a mind.
what you said.
Never mind what I said before. Listen to what I'm going to say now. It's pretty tough when an old man like me have to propose for a couple of tongue-tied, upcoming youngsters. Why, Gene, this is my mammy. She came all the way from Richmond to see her baby make good in the big city. Pardon me. Hello? Yeah. Yeah. Sure, of course. I'll be right over.
Where on earth are you going now?
A friend of mine, a fella, just had a baby. No, I mean his wife. Oh, nuts, I gotta get a doctor.
Can I help?
Lady, you've got a lot to learn.
Wow. What an anticlimax. I'm maybe not the biggest fan of the end of this movie, but let's break it down. So Money Johnson tries to frame poor Chummy, right? Poor Chummy, like the saddest character, like most pathetic character I've ever seen. He just goes along with whatever anybody tells him to do. But that doesn't work, and Money gets what's coming to him, of course, though off screen, right? They couldn't have anybody getting murdered in film at this time, at least not in this film. There's another questionable fight scene, this time between two of the female leads in the show, Jean and Greta played by Alma Smith, again another Cotton Club regular, and they get into another poorly choreographed fight scene that culminates in my favorite moment, besides all the dancing, of course, where, what is it, after a drawn-out fight, they fight all around the room, there's hair pulling, there's punching, of course, and then they just, like, stop, and, Jean gets up, and she's like, "You gonna talk now?" And the woman, and Greta's like, "I'm not gonna talk." And she walks over to the dresser, very casually, grabs a pitcher of water, and then just kind of like, and like splashes her. And she's like, "You'll talk now, right?" And she's like, "All right, I'll tell you anything I want to know." That's the straw that broke the camel's back, apparently, was that pitcher of water, but not the punches to the face. That's what did it, apparently. So try that next time. No, don't do that. That's not. Bill Barrett does not condone tap dancer on tap dancer violence. So apparently, Greta spills the beans on Money, and that's how they find out Chummy is innocent and just a patsy and all this. Even though the movie is billed as an all-black cast, there are two white performers. One plays like a commissioner or something like that, right? And only one of the white performers speaks, but both performers are uncredited, right? So it's an all-black cast, except for the two white guys who just were uncredited. I mean, they're not very important to the story. So, hey, if you're uncredited in a movie, were you ever even really in the movie? I mean, you were, but these guys weren't, apparently, even though they are. But hey, it's totally cool. The film ends with Robinson proposing marriage for Chummy and Jean. Again, Chummy just goes along, even though that's what he wanted, he just goes along. "Oh, I'm getting married now, okay." Chummy. I like me some Chummy. Anyways, Chummy, he proposes marriage for Chummy and Jean, and introduces them to his mammy from Richmond, Virginia, which is where Robinson actually grew up as a child. We don't know who this older woman is in the movie. We've never seen her before. We never see her again because right at the end she's just there. So I don't know. And then Bill Robinson gets a phone call from a friend of his who is having a baby. Well, it's not his friend who's having the baby, it's his friend's wife, of course. And he takes off. The end. No big dance number, no singing, no fanfare, nothing like that. He just gets a call and he's like, oh, I just got someplace to be. I'll see you guys. See you later. And that is it. The end in big letters. So, we'll have to be happy with that. So, well, anyways, thank you for taking the time to watch this historic movie. And please enjoy the rest of National Tap Dance Day. I think that it's important to see movies like this, and to really get a feel for the tap dancers that we study. I mean, we see the whole movie, right? Because we see these clips, and we read stories and we hear anecdotes from other great tap dancers now. But to really see how someone moves, walks, talks, their mannerisms, and especially a movie like this where it's all incredibly accurate because it's the real people and the real sets and costumes, etc., etc. Most reports state that Bill Robinson was always himself, okay? So what you see here is not far off than how he would act in real life. Some of the other acting in the movie is a little stiff at times. But I think Bill Robinson really plays himself. He doesn't even get a name in the movie. His name in the movie is Bill Robinson, right? Probably because they want to sell some tickets. He's the headliner, of course, but also because he is Bill Robinson in the movie, right? You would never see him not. I've seen one picture of him not smiling, right? His trademark Bill Robinson smile. So, again, incredibly accurate, and I think you really get to know this man, get a sense of who he was as a person, more than just watching his tap dancing. Anyways, thanks for watching this piece of history with me. Cheers. It's orange juice.